Yeah, we're starting now.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Micah, and I'm here with four amazing women. We're celebrating Women's Day, and also we're talking about GDC and the Games Developer Conference coming up. To my left is Olga. Olga, and can you introduce yourself, Olga? Maybe say your full name.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Olga, and I work on a VR pet simulation game and also do VR usability studies and user testing. And yeah, today we will talk a little bit about GDC and what we expect to see there. And yeah, I think I will introduce everyone else.
Go ahead.
I'm Sara. I combine neuroscience and movement with VR on various projects, and today I think I'll be talking about the project I'm doing with Neilda that's called
Empower Her
Yeah.
VR. Hi everyone, I'm Neilda Pacquing, and I am a product designer and prototyper, and I'm also working on Empower Her VR, which is a self-defense app for women.
Hello everyone, my name is Bernice and I'm a video game developer. So I make all kinds of games, including games in VR and AR and the traditional old kind of video games like 2D and 3D. So this is my interest in talking to this podcast. Thank you for listening.
Okay, great. So now we'll go one by one, and we'll just have Sara talk for a minute about. So, well, what do you think about where is the current state of games and virtual reality, especially because you work
So
in VR?
but I'm not a gamer, right? I come from utilizing this technology for things that are not games. I see a very difference between game and play, right? Game, at least in my perspective, works a lot on this dopamine rush. This sometimes semi-addictive thing that you just keep going, even though you're not necessarily utilizing your own brain and behavior to its best. Well, play is a state that you're actually learning and inducing plasticity in. And of course, some games have the play elements in them, but let's say these shooter endless things that you're just doing the same repetitive thing again and again can be very addictive. But are not really something that I'm very interested in.
So what are you really interested in working on right now? What is your passion project that you're working on?
So I guess what me and Neilda are working on right now, or so in accordance with the Women's Day, is a self-defense app for women that will basically give tools for women on how to deal with various situations, how to project their voice, how to be aware of their environment better, and a type of simulations of what they can do in situations that might be dangerous.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah.
Neilda, how are you?
I'm doing great.
So what can you tell us about the current state? Because you speak on a lot of panels, and you're part of the UX design network in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
You know a lot about the VR industry. What can you tell us about the current state of VR and what you're interested in
Mm-hmm.
games? And
Yeah, so in regards to virtual reality, what I'm most interested in is seeing VR applied to medicine and health and safety and training and education, rather than the gaming entertainment sides of things. Just because I see a lot more application and that integration of the virtual world and the physical world all in one. So it's a nice seamless experience. I think that virtual reality is a really great tool, and it has a lot of effects on the brain and how you'll end up acting in real life in general. And I feel like that's where the money is at when it comes to virtual reality.
nice. So you mentioned the effects on the brain. What can you say in terms of you're working with somebody who's a neuroscientist, Sara?
Mm-hmm.
What can you say in terms of more on the topic of the brain and neuroscience and virtual reality in terms of on that topic?
Mm-hmm. Sara definitely knows a lot more than I do when it comes to neuroscience and virtual reality, but I do remember experiencing quite a few apps at GDC last year.
Oh, you went last year?
VRDC, yes.
Okay.
I have passes every single year typically.
Oh, wow.
So I am going this year, and I can't wait to see what I'll get to experience. But I remember 2014 was the first time I've ever tried a virtual reality headset with Oculus, and it was the day before Facebook acquired them. So I saw the DK2 version and was actually impressed by the technology, even though it's not as good as it is today.
Amazing. So Bernice, you're enthusiastic about GDC. You're going
Oh
this
yeah,
year?
I'm going to GDC.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm not presenting a game because my game was not finished when the application deadline was around. So I'm like, okay. I'll just
But
go.
you're developing a game.
I am developing games, an AR game, and I think it's really interesting that Sara brought up the idea of like some video games are like addicting, but even if it's not fun, people keep continuing. And that's the idea called Skinner boxes. Like a lot of people in the video game industry itself talk about that and how problematic it is because it just seems like a way to make people addicted and to pay microtransactions and do all those things in games. So hopefully that kind of thinking will, or that kind of game design will stop and will stop spreading when, especially like in the present, not just for regular games, but also in VR, especially because VR seems to be affecting people's visions more, I think. But yeah, aside from that, I think the state of VR, a lot of the things for VR are still kind of expensive. Like Oculus is like more than 200. To have HTC Vive is like more than 500, and so like not a lot of people can have fun with them yet, and I think that's really unfortunate. But it seems that Microsoft has, that they're making these like lower end versions of HoloLens. By the way, HoloLens is also super expensive. It's like more than 1,000 or something.
I think it's 3,000.
Oh yeah, you see, it's so expensive, right? Like who can afford that, right? So they have these things called like the mixed reality helmets that they make, like Acer or HP or Lenovo produce for them. And I'm not really sure how much they cost, but they're definitely cheaper than an Oculus headset. So I guess that's good because it makes it more accessible to everyday people.
So yeah, I think that's one thing I'm looking forward to is a lot of prices coming down for the VR industry, more accessible devices because of the price. Olga, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, so I'm a product designer, and as I said, I work on a VR simulation game, so I'm very interested in a non-gaming type of experiences as well, as many people here. And so I'd love to see more tools as well to create experiences and to create prototypes, because day by day I iterate a lot, and you know that in VR it's very different to create a UX and UI design, and current state of prototyping tools, they are usually well, at least what I tried, they are not really plug and play, so I'm really looking forward I'm really looking forward for the sessions where they will talk about prototyping tools as well as some lessons about UX and UI, some new findings. And of course, I'd love to see more educational experiences, because simulations can really help people to feel empowered, especially when you already already have been in some situation, so you will be more confident when you already know what to expect, such as with a VR pet simulation, which I'm working on. Just a quick example, like a while ago when I have never had a pet, we were very surprised when a little dog started losing teeth, because we had no idea that dogs also can have baby teeth, and it was a very stressful situation for us. So the app will cover different aspects and prepare people for not only to make sure that they are able to have a dog, but also for different situations that can be applied.
Okay. And finally, like, what are some? So we've seen from South by Southwest in the news that there's been like the Ready Player One is coming out, and there are lots of people trying that. The Westworld is a big thing. What do you think are the big things happening in the VR industry that are going to make a difference to VR becoming mass adopted? What are the important ideas or the big changes that we need to see? Does anyone want to take a stab at that question?
Definitely social VR, for bringing up Ready Player One. Social VR is starting to get there. I'm probably going to set up a room in VR chat that will combine sort of ideas from neuroscience and VR, and people can come together and experience some weirdness. They're still not really opening their SDK enough, like these social VR places, so they're very controlled. Once that maybe happens and people can really put their creativity into these worlds more, hopefully it will sort of boost the industry a lot.
And definitely the price. In addition to the HMDs, we also have to consider the PCs that are required to run them. At the moment, they're probably $1,000, $2,000, and that's on top of whatever device that you choose to build or use. So that needs to go down.
Well, I think that a big problem right now is the price of GPUs. That's a whole different tangent that I don't want to talk about because I don't want to take up too much time here. But because of people speculating on cryptocurrencies, the prices of GPUs have just skyrocketed, basically. So hopefully, like, either people find a different way to mine cryptocurrencies, or someone just comes up with a more affordable GPU that can also
I think
play
that,
VR.
I just wanted to say on that note, I think that if we move, the cryptocurrency market moves towards proof of stake instead of proof of work,
Yeah.
then it doesn't take GPUs to mine anymore. And also I think that we may be moving towards all-in-ones for VR. Like in terms of what Oculus is pushing, their all-in-one headsets are going to be, they do so much. They look like desktop VR, but it runs on a mobile processor. It doesn't need the big GPU anymore. Final thoughts, Olga?
Yeah, well, I definitely agree with everyone here, and I think that ease of use of the devices is definitely one more point to consider. So, for example, that it would be great if you don't need to have such a long setup. For example, set up controllers and everything. So if it could be more plug and play type of experience with the hardware, it would be even more easy to use for everyone and more accessible.
Perfect. All right, thanks everybody. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.